So here's a quote from a community provider that is in the toolkit for this section. It says, I'm optimistic that schools can become the best place and a refuge for kids who experience social, emotional, and mental health challenges. What are your thoughts about this quote? And this is from a community behavioral health provider.
Optimism is great, but action is what's needed.
Well, I agree with that statement. And I feel like, especially it's been highlighted now during the pandemic, where we're seeing the lack of accessibility for many folks to mental health services, or the lack of mental health services, and how much the school really provides those services for a lot of families on some level.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Anybody else?
I think we have to adapt our viewpoint of what the school is and what our role is, because school right now for us has still been in the community, and so we need to help them find their other refuges for these things.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I was just reflecting today, like it just makes me sad as educators. Our job is to like help kids find their voices, and yet we're silencing them. And it just continues to make me sad for the kids. The more that they're at home, like we went through this in March and it was a much different setting, and we're going through it in the middle of winter, and to find these kids, like I just want to like drive by and tell them to like open the curtains and let me see you so I know you're okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's just really hard to be optimistic right now, like knowing our own stresses and those people that maybe don't have the tools to handle it, how the kids are being treated, and that breaks my heart. Yeah.
So I'm going to give you some research findings, some stats. Suicide is the leading cause of death for Alaskans age 15 to 19. And Alaska's suicide rate is second highest in the nation. And we kind of go back and forth between being the highest and the second highest. But for adolescents, we are the highest. 35 to 45% of high school students reported feeling so sad or hopeless almost every day for 2 or more weeks in a row that they stopped doing some of their usual activities. And this is from the 2019 YRB. The 2019 YRBS. Of school-age children who receive behavioral and mental health services, 70 to 80% of those receive those services at school. They're in support services. Alaska's high rate of adverse childhood experiences mean our students are at risk of many health problems, including addiction, depression, and poor physical health. Those are just some of the research findings that are out there. There's probably many more, but those are kind of the ones that we'll highlight. So what do we mean by support services? And what does each provider offer? Support service providers in many schools include nurses, counselors, and licensed social workers, or schools may also employ specialists like speech, occupational, or physical therapists, or school psychologists. For the purposes of this framework, support service providers work most effectively when they work as a team. They cannot work in isolation with other school staff, certified, classified, family, and community organizations. Some of these organizations could include public safety officers, local tribes, clinics, community mental health providers, domestic and sexual violence prevention organizations, and others.